Now we're going to segue into the all-important game balls.
Oh,
Now,
geez.
this segment has been created from hell, right? Not only we have a drive of the game we can't come up with, we can't give anybody a game ball either, but I'm going to let you guys have at it
Oh, I
again.
got
Seth,
one.
I'll go to you first.
I'm giving my ball to Brandon Graham.
There
I
you go.
called it in the pregame. He needed one sack to get to double digits for the first time in his career. And I said in the pregame that he'd have two. He actually had
You did.
three, but there was
Yes,
a
you did.
penalty, and they took one away from him. I want to congratulate him. I want to, not necessarily apologize, but I got to kind of eat my words because it was years ago that I said that Brandon would never be a double-digit guy. He's gotten close quite a few times. I didn't say it because I did not want him to do it. I just, that was my opinion at the time. He proved me wrong. So my game ball goes to him. Congratulations on double-digit sacks for the first time in your career in year 13.
Yep.
I can't argue with that. If I had a game ball to give, we don't have him physically here, but I would give a game ball to Brandon Graham as well. I mean, you can't give it to anybody offensively. He's really the candidate that you have to zero in on. So, yeah, congratulations, Brandon Graham. It is pretty amazing that he had double-digit sacks for the first time in his career after a great career as an Eagle.
I'm going to go off the rail. I agree with Seth 100%. Brandon's my boy. I'm going to go completely off the rail here, and I'm giving it to Josiah Scott because until he picked off that pass, Andy Dalton was 13 for 13. So he broke up Andy Dalton's consecutive completion streak. So I'm going to give it to Josiah Scott because he got ripped apart last week for his inept play down in Dallas. He came back. He got the only turnover of the game for this defense. I'm going with just Josiah Scott.
You just hammered me for giving the Eagles a drive in the game. You come up with Josiah Scott?
I did it. I did it for effect. I did it for effect to see what you say.
All right, Josiah, congratulations.
What?
I will say this. Josiah Scott, to your point in the pregame, you said he usually plays better when he knows he's going to be starting opposed to having to come in. He had an interception.
Yep.
He had 4 total tackles today, 3 solos, and he wasn't really victimized much at all today. So I kind of get the sense that I don't like to beat players up. Although you have to do it if you're going to be truthful, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But he played much better today.
Yeah, he did.
And I tell you what, the New Orleans Saints, when they could get that matchup with him on Chris Olave today, they tried to take advantage of it.
Right.
He played a lot better today than he did last week and in previous games.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let me also add that I thought Hargrave played really well today. I think Hargrave was really active in there. He got a sack, but he really clogged some things up. But my counterpoint to that is, Sue and Linval Joseph have kind of tailed off, and Jordan Davis really is not making a lot of plays either. Are you guys worried about that part where we thought the rotation was pretty stout, that maybe not? I mean, I saw Hargrave and Cox play a lot of snaps today.
Well, I think that sometimes I get the point. I get the sense that when I look at this defense, I'm always left wondering what the hell are they trying to do from a schematic standpoint. We all know that Jonathan Gannon says he doesn't have a scheme. He has a philosophy. But when you're talking about your front seven, there has to be a scheme in place to be able to stop the run. Sometimes I can see some rhyme and reason to what they do. Other times I'm not so sure. Like I said, when they line up in their 5-man line, a lot of times, listen, you can run an over and under front. In the actuality, what you're actually running, is a 4-3 front with the Sam linebacker being, Hassan Reddick, and you rush him and drop the guy on the other side, or you rush 5, which really turns into, a Sam blitz, but in the run game, where guys line up, schematically, and then where the linebackers line up schematically, sometimes I'm just like left scratching my head because sometimes they're not in the most prudent positions to be able to stop some of the runs that you see. Sometimes, you got defensive ends that are lined up, especially when they go 4-man. They'll line up head up on the offensive tackle, or you see these guys lining up with the wrong foot up. Brandon happened to Brandon today, on a play where they started inside and bounced it out because he had his feet lined wrong. He wound up having to step in the bucket. By the time you step in the bucket, it's too late to come out of it. So my biggest concern is, giving these guys some hardcore, solid fundamental responsibilities. And okay, this is your gap. This is your gap. So when I look at these guys, I'm not so sure sometimes that they understand. Like I seen Sue. It seems like he's a half a step slow to get into some of these sacks. There's like 3 or 4 sacks this year since he's been here that I think he could have been a party to or got a piece of. He's still sitting on that half a sack that first game that he and Linville Joseph actually split that first sack. But he's right there. I think that he's a force. I don't know that they play him enough. I don't know if they give him enough reps to really be, as dominant as they can be, as he could be, I should say. So I don't know. But, I mean, the defense is still, listen, they are ranked 18th versus the run coming into today's game. They'll probably stay right around there, 120 to 125, yards per game. I don't think it's the thing that Jonathan Gannon or this staff really is concerned with. But I think the closer you get to the playoffs and as you get deeper into the playoffs, that, those numbers become more of an issue than what they are right now. Everyone wants to look at where they are and where they rank, defensively against the pass. Yeah, they came into this game today. They were ranked number 1 at 181 yards per game. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. But did they really get beat, in the pass game so much more than they got beat in the run game today?
Mm-hmm. All right. By the way, the game balls that we unanimously gave to Brandon Graham, and who'd you give it to, Seth? No, Derek Gunn. Yeah,
Josiah Scott.
Josiah Scott. But in any event, the game ball.
Hey, don't laugh. You heard Seth's stats. Don't laugh. Scott had a good game today, man.
The game ball to Josiah Scott was proudly presented by Colony Pools. Get yourself a signed game ball. That's right. You can get your own signed game ball. Just go right now to Fly with Colony, COLONY.com. Let Colony Pools take care of your pool. Flywithcolonypools.com. On the other side, we got some injury updates and some injury information to discuss from Dr. Bruce Grosinger, our resident sports doc. He'll join us after this on the Pond Hockey Eagles postgame show. Don't go away.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season. And let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.